Good afternoon. It is noon. It is the chicken box time. Maybe it's breakfast if you're on the West Coast, or it is dinner time if you're over in Africa. But today on the chicken box, black people versus, right, crypto. Y'all been hearing about it. You're seeing it in the news. You're reading about it. And investing. We're going to put those two together today. I'm Kevin Impeccable Peck, your host. And for those who are tuning in, share, because this information might change your life today. I am representing the Gen Xers, all my Gen Xers out there. Put your hands in the air. I can't see them. But anyway, put your hands in the air anyway. I have my gracious host, co-host, Dr. Draper. Good. I want to say morning every time I come on here.
But well, it's good morning. It's good morning where I am. So good morning to everybody, or good afternoon. So glad to be with you. I had to leave early last week, but I'm here this week for the duration. And so happy chicken box. Happy chicken box. And I know it's not good English, but where the boomers at? I'm representing the boomers. I always say I'm a millennial boomer.
Well,
be here.
Boomer, just put a boomer in the chat if you want to represent that. But speaking of our millennial co-host, Misha Green, she's not going to be able to be with us this morning. Dr. Draper, if you want to jump in.
Well, I just wanted, let's solicit the prayers of our chicken box viewers today. Misha's mother, the Reverend Paula Clark, Bishop-elect, first African-American woman for the Episcopal Church in Chicago, is undergoing emergency surgery on probably right now as we're on the chicken box. So Misha's with her mom. And so if you are a person of prayer, would you lift up Bishop-elect, and I said Brenda because I know a Brenda Clark, but I meant to say Paula, Bishop-elect Paula Clark.
Absolutely. Misha, we miss you and we are praying for you and the family. So let's get into it, y'all. Black people versus crypto and investing. What is this crypto we're talking about? What is this investing we're talking about? Are we just making money, earning money, and spending it and letting it go all out the window to other people? Or are we finding ways to let the money work for us and getting really into investing? We have with us two. I gotta double check their if they're millennials or Gen Zers. But we have two guests. Our first guest is a family member, and you always smile when you talk about a family member. But Morgan Peck, are you out there?
I am here.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name was said. My name is Morgan Peck. I am actually Gen Z, so that is my generation I'm representing today. I'm happy to be here.
Is your sister a millennial?
She is, I think. She is.
I get it confused. Actually, the Gen Z, they are taking over this new space of crypto, and we want to get educated, y'all, because we're gonna get left behind if we don't catch up to what's really happening in the marketplace. Morgan, why don't you just give us just a quick introduction? We know you're a student at Clark Atlanta University, but just give everybody just a quick 30 seconds of who you are.
Well, like you said, I am a current junior rising senior at the illustrious Clark Atlanta University. I'm currently studying computer science. I am a French minor, all the way from Baltimore, Maryland. I have two of my own businesses. One is a graphic design business. The other one is a jewelry business. And, I'm just my own boss. I like to do whatever is flowing my heart and wherever I feel like I want to go. So investing has been my newest journey, and I'm really excited to be able to share that with you all.
Absolutely. Welcome, Morgan, to the chicken box. I know you've heard about it, but we're going to get in. This is the place, y'all. If you just tuned in, if you've never seen the chicken box, before we bring on our next guest, in Baltimore, it's 4 wings and fries. We were talking about it backstage. Yeah, it's a little greasy. It's salt, pepper, ketchup. It's lunchtime. Maybe you are hungry right now and thinking about a chicken box, but that's what it is. But on this show, the Afro-American newspaper, over 128 years of publishing, informing, inspiring African Americans all over the world, we decided before the pandemic to have this show where we're going to sit around and we're going to see who could bring the best fried chicken, and we're going to just talk about stereotypes and things that really we needed to know, in truths that we needed to speak about certain situations. Now, whether the truth is the truth or is the truth that is your truth, this is the box that you're going to get a chance to get on, and you speak your truth about what we have going on. We'd like to thank Sharon. We got Rufus, Rachel, Bonnie, Craig, Easter Bostic Battle. I don't know what that Easter is. It Easter? Esther, Byron, of course, hanging out with us. I don't know. Put a one in the chat if you have ever heard of crypto, and say, let me just see where we are here as we move through the day. But Black people versus crypto and investing. Our next guest, it's funny because it feels like a family affair. I'm gonna call him Phillip Tucker Jr. Phillip, are you out here?
I am. How's everybody doing today?
Good. Welcome to the Chicken Box.
Thank
Interesting
you.
story. Back in '84, I went to Morehouse College, straight from Baltimore, and his dad, Phil Tucker, was at Morehouse the same year that we came in. So it's an interesting coincidence that my daughter, Morgan, would meet Phillip Tucker Jr. And I was like, wait a minute, I've heard that name Phillip Tucker before. And it finds out that it's a small world. Generations later, families are still connected. And now we're connected not only in just generations, but in teaching and educating people on how to invest in this new digital currency. But before we get into that, this is Black People versus Crypto and Investing. Phillip, why don't you let everybody know what you do in Atlanta? We know you're a grad of Morehouse.
Absolutely. So I am a recent graduate of Morehouse College. I just graduated last year, 2020. I am now writing for Lifestyle Magazine. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. So I am from the East Coast as well. I'm just glad to be here, blessed to be here. And I don't know, I guess it's cool that I think I'm on this call with a couple of Delta women, and my mom's a Delta, and she's my favorite person in the world. So that's really cool to be on here. But also with my fraternity brother, Mr. Peck, who's a part of the greatest fraternity in the world, Kappa Alpha Psi.
Let's go, y'all. Let's go.
Absolutely.
So, listen. Let me tell you how it goes down. Black people versus crypto. Okay, let's just throw that word out there first. We're talking about cryptocurrency. Morgan, what comes to mind, or what is your understanding of crypto? And just why don't you enlighten someone? And Rufus said how to invest. That's right, Rufus. We're gonna get into that, but let's just see who is with us today.
Okay. So, basically, to me, cryptocurrency is just a new medium of paying for things. It's digital. You can't see it. You can't touch it. Can't feel it. It's the next wave of where the world is moving, whether people want to realize it or not. Large corporations and people who are in charge are investing in this. They are taking their money and investing into cryptocurrency to shift the market, to shift everything. So cryptocurrency is eventually going to be, coin like ownership that basically people can have, and they won't physically be able to touch it. It's just right there on your phone. You may even notice like in gas stations now, they have like Bitcoin ATMs. Like you can go and get cryptocurrency, but you can't actually physically have it. So that's a quick little spiel on that.
Thank you. We got Anthony Murphy tuning in. He's another my line brother. What's up, Anthony? Happy birthday yesterday. Man, listen, we are talking about Black people. Listen, we got to get our mind wrapped around this new digital entrepreneurship, this new digital real estate, and this new digital currency. We're doing a We Are Still Here, or We're Still Here edition at the Afro newspaper. We're talking about Black wealth. That comes out this week, y'all. We have still the legacy edition, but we still have the Afro digital edition, which is afro.com. So if you've never heard of it, it's 128 years. Just go to afro.com and tune in and really get plugged in so that the information can get to our community. That's what we want to do. And we wanted to show that we got the Gen Z. I'm not used to the Gen Z being on, but hey, Gen Z, everybody, if we got some more Gen Z, tag them, share it, hit the share button, y'all, because somebody is going to need this information. And you might even need to go back and listen to it again so that you can find out. Big news yesterday, something called Coinbase. Phil, did you hear that? Did you hear that news?
Yes, I did. Absolutely.
So let's say why don't you give somebody just a quick definition of what Coinbase is, one, and then we can talk about the news a little bit.
Absolutely. So, I mean, Morgan with cryptos hit it spot on. All cryptos really is digital money, you all. So it's becoming like just like technology is. Everything is going through technology, but all Coinbase is. And yesterday, Coinbase is basically it's like the safest, most secure place to buy and sell Bitcoin. As simple as that. Not just Bitcoin, but different cryptos. So if you want to invest in cryptos, definitely go through Coinbase because your money will be secure. And it's probably just the most trusted platform that there is when trading or selling or buying different types of cryptos.
Dr. Draper, when did you first hear the word crypto? I mean,
probably I guess about a year or so ago. So as a former stockbroker, I'm always interested in investing. And so when we talk about cryptocurrency, which there are several forms of crypto, most people have heard about Bitcoin. Anytime NASDAQ, and that's what that announcement was about yesterday with the coin, Coinbase. Anytime NASDAQ is into that, anytime PayPal, anytime these big companies that move money are into this kind of currency, then you know that it's something hot. Listen, all currency is traded really on an exchange. It's not exchanging hands. All right, this may be a different platform, but don't think your dollar is just staying in somebody's pocket. Currency has always for years been traded electronically through exchanges, whether it's the New York Stock Exchange, the American Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, or whatever. And so this is just another form, and it will, it will have value, so the dollar and other things are based on different things like gold standard, but the value in the trading. And so things are traded all the time, whether or not it's currency, it could be oil, could be sheep, it could be whatever. And so this is the new way, right, of doing it. And it's a more secure way. And so, no, you're not going to walk around with crypto in your pocket, right? And this is not the crypto that Superman had to, kind of crypto with a K. And so I've always been very, very interested in these kinds of things anyway. So I'm just still learning, though. Still learning. But I just wanted to say that when we talk about investing and we talk about wealth accumulation, building wealth, this is just another form of something that's being traded, but it's being traded at tremendous speed. And a lot of times when these things happen, we're the last ones to get on the train. We're buying it when it's, way up here instead of buying it, and trading it, exchanging it at a lower rate.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Chicken Box, y'all. Black people versus crypto and investing. Are we investing out there? Because a lot of times you talk about the stock market, like you said, Dr. Draper, and people hear about the stock market, but are we in it as a whole, or generations? Are we in it? Have you thought about it? Do people have brokerages accounts? Are we in the stock market? But then, how many of you guys out there just put a 4 in the chat? That's my birthday, so put a 4 in the chat if you have any cryptocurrency at all. If you have it, if you invested in it, if you exchanged it for something, even if you bought something with it, put a 4 in the chat. So we're just trying to get a gauge. Today we're just throwing out information. We get on the Chicken Box to speak truth, bring light to darkness, and also to really inspire you to really educate yourself. A lot of times you hear things on the internet, and as they go, you know, these news bites come very fast. That's your education. But do you ever really dive deep into where the world is going with currency, investing, and money? That's a question I had. Now, the young Gen Zers that we have here, they are. I want to tell you, I want to hear a story. Like this is really an interesting story to me. The brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi and Morehouse, they started an investment group. Why don't you give the story of Trade House and kind of what you guys started there at Morehouse College, and what was the reason and the purpose behind that?
Okay, so in the summer of 2017, my Prophyte, and if you don't know what Prophyte means, is the person that brought me into my fraternity. He is a student that was a former student at Morehouse College. In fact, he is the youngest Black male in Forbes right now. His name is Bryce Thompson. He started an investment group called Trade House, which is an investment group through the foreign exchange market at first. And he started this back in the summer of 2017. And now the investment group has grown to over 100,000 people. But it's just in the company. It's in the company of I Am Academy, which is a very large, like you guys should be able to look it up online. It's a very large academy, and this is probably the biggest investment group within the academy, which is a blessing. But these four individuals from Morehouse College, Joshua Stewart, Nathan Samuels, Ronaldo Perez, and Bryce Thompson, who are all line brothers and all noops, they started this together. Not really knowing what it was, just knowing, look, I can make money from my cell phone in minutes or in hours. And they took it and ran with it and exposed the opportunity to everyone. And now all of these guys are multimillionaires before the age of 25, multimillionaires. So that's the investment group that we are a part of. Morgan and I are a part of, and it's just a great opportunity, and it's a great vehicle to learn how to trade, whether you want to trade cryptos, learn more about the foreign exchange market, learn. I trade HFX, which is just high frequency exchange. But it's just it's like the Rosetta Stone of trading, learning how to basically trade all different types of digital currencies and dollars.
Absolutely. I thought that was a phenomenal story, especially after 25. And so as the story went, we got Black people versus crypto and investing today. And my daughter Morgan gives me a call and says, will I come to her event that she's having at college? She doesn't ask me to come to a lot of things. We're in the same city down here in Atlanta, and I'm coming. I'm knowing it's something. You guys, you ever been asked to come to something that you know is something, but you just coming because you just coming, but it's something like one of those things that people don't like to talk about, those things that you heard of life, like those Amway things, those things, those things that you may have been excited about in life, and then you didn't make no money, and then you weren't excited anymore because it was just one of those things. Anyway, I knew it was one of those things when I came, and I still came because it was you, Morgan. So Morgan was at the front of the room, and she began to speak. So Morgan, why don't you kind of enlighten what inspired you? Because I'm going to brag because I'm your dad for a second. She's always been a straight A student. She's got a full scholarship to Clark Atlanta University. She's in IT, coding and all of that stuff that is way over my head. And she already, guys, has an offer from Boeing and a job waiting for her, 6 figures or more when she gets out. But then she said, okay, Dad, come, because I'm into something. You know what I mean? I got something I want to share with you. I'm 54. She's about to hit the big 2-1. Okay. So I come. I'm the dad. You guys are dads and moms out there. So we listen to our children every now and then. But then when I hear Phillip and I hear the word Kappa, you always spark up because that's a like-minded thing. And then when you hear millionaires under 25, and they may be doing something that you don't know, it's at least time to listen. You know what I mean? You may not have to take action, but just listen for a minute. So Morgan, what was your story and into investing, and kind of what made you start investing at such a young age?
Well, I think the original thing that probably really sparked my interest was that I realized that I was just following the stereotype of Black people thinking that every way to make money is a scam if you're not working a 9 to 5. So I go to Clark Atlanta, and Trade House was started at Morehouse. It was started about a year before I got there. So when I got there, it was like a lot of buzz about Forex and trading and whatever. So, all you hear is Forex and then you hear scam. Like, that's just the words that were associated in my head. So for the longest time, it was just kind of like, no, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm fine. I have a job. I'm all right. And then I realized that I was saying no to something that I hadn't even inquired about. I didn't know anything about what the foreign exchange market was. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't even understand how you could even make money on your phone like that. So I think it took about, I want to say like 2 years. Like, it took about 2 years for me to actually say yes. PJ, Phillip, whatever you want to call him today, he is actually why I started investing, because he would answer all of my million questions about the foreign exchange market and everything in that matter. So, just having a reliable source and having somebody that you can be honest about with how you're feeling, and that you have other aspirations beyond just going to work a job or doing other things. So, it takes time, and everybody's journey is different. But I think once you figure out that where you want to go and how you're on your way there do not align, like working that 9 to 5 probably wouldn't get me my biggest goals and aspirations of starting a tech company. Like, it would take a lot of years for me to do that. So, when you start to think about there's other ways that other demographics are making money in the 3% that we don't know about, it started to really spark my interest, because I like to get on the trends before they kind of explode, like they were talking about earlier. Like, we tend to get in when it's too late. We're buying when the price has already shot up and so forth. So, I think that really just sparked my interest, because I like to do what the masses aren't doing. So I was like, I'm just following everybody else and not doing it. So let me actually see what's going on. So that's my story.
Man, that is amazing. I mean, just if one thing you said was do something different than the masses are doing, because what is it? The top 1 or 2% is where all the wealth lies. And if the masses are all going this way, and you're thinking about being wealthy, and you're not even getting the education that the 1 or 2% have used for years, and because this is, Black Wealth Month at the Afro, we've been concentrating it on wealth in the mindset, and just thinking about investing. And the beautiful part about it is you can start investing with as low as $50 in this new digital world. And you can get started learning and educating yourself. I think I'm gonna, if you just tuned in, this is the Chicken Box, and sometimes people pop in at different times. We're talking about Black people versus crypto and investing. And I just happened to re-look up you hear the word investing, but what is investing? This is Investopedia. It's allocating resources, guys, usually money, with the expectation of generating an income or profit. Let me read it one more time. Allocating a resource, usually money, right? With, this is the biggest thing, an expectation of generating an income or profit. You have to have some type of expectation when you're investing of generating income or profit. Now we know money, well, the Bible says money answers all things. And we've heard the love of money is the root of evil, right? It's the love. That's when you put money over God. And let's get it straight. God did not want us to be poor, broke. You can't do nothing for somebody. If you don't have any kind of resource to help somebody when they come, I can pray for you, but I'm super hungry, man. How is this prayer really getting me some food at the moment? You know what I mean? How can I meet somebody's needs with no resources or wealth? So when we invest, guys, we're investing not only for ourselves, our family, and for future generations. I'm just thinking of my great-great-grandfather. He invested some resources into a product that has been around for 120 years and has us on the chicken box right now. We're talking about investment in crypto as it changes, as the digital currency and the digital entrepreneurship and the digital world changes. You can think that listen, I'm going to date myself. When me and your dad, Phillip, came to Morehouse, we came carrying either a word processor or a typewriter of some sort. And if we could tell you that you can do everything on your phone that we couldn't even do half the things back in the day, you would look at me crazy if I even brought up the word whiteout to you, right? You would be like, are you, like, what is wrong with you? And so in a minute, paper money is going to be just like that. And whether we believe it or not, everything is going with the wallets on your phones, to the touchless, you can pay, to everything that is being set up infrastructure wise. And you may see it and be paying attention, but it's really, really happening. And it's happening fast. Let me see who's still with us out there. All my investors out there. If you invest, just put invest.
Let me add a disclaimer as soon as you get people to put that in there too.
Add it.
Okay, here's a disclaimer. Let me say to everybody, this is the Afro's Chicken Box, where you get on and express your truth. And so I don't want anybody to leave here and say, the Afro's recommending that we do Trade House, or that we do Forex, or we do Bitcoin. We're not making an investment recommendation. Okay, we're not doing that. That's the disclaimer. But we are saying that we need to invest, like Rachel said, and a couple of other people. You'll make your decision. Morgan and Phillip are telling us about what they're investing in and their experience. Morgan said at first she thought it was a scam. You can go on the internet and there are probably a whole lot of people that say, this is a scam, it's a pyramid scheme, it's a multi-level marketing, or whatever it is. So I just need to give that disclaimer. I don't want anybody to leave here and say the Afro is making investment recommendations. One thing we do on this show is we try to debunk stereotypes, okay? And so we bring information, but we're not necessarily bringing a recommendation for any particular thing, except it's a good idea if you're going to build wealth of any kind to do what? Invest. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there, Kevin.
And that was a word from our CEO and publisher, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for that that wonderful disclaimer. And that's true, because like a lot of times that we say it's a trading idea, or these are ideas about investments, right? And I thought about that this morning when you hear trade ideas. And some of us need to trade our ideas of what we think wealth is. We need to trade those ideas that are not profitable for us for some new ideas, people. And how do you get new ideas? Sometimes God will give them to you, but sometimes you got to be around some people who have those ideas. You got to do some seeking and get some education about what is going on in that particular field that you're looking to invest in, to trade. Look into it. Don't just keep listening to the news, the rumors, IG, everything on the internet talking about it. Look into it. so we can move forward. Okay, let's we got a question. Let's talk about some different currencies. Everybody thinks it's just Bitcoin. Thank you, brother Tally. My line brothers are tuning in today, y'all. See, Phil, what you started. Where the Deltas at? Where y'all at? Where the AKs? Where the Qs? Where's everybody? Where the Divine Nine? Anyway, that's just that's just something random. But anyway, where are our investment-minded individuals? And thank you for tuning in. And so the original Bitcoin seems to be the word that you hear like the most out there. What are the other coins that you're hearing out there, Morgan and Phil?
So you have Ripple, you have Ethereum, there's Dash, I think Monero. There's a lot of crypto. Different cryptos. There's what else? There's Litecoin.
Yeah, those are like the main ones. But Bitcoin is like paving the way. Bitcoin really is the main one that people think about when they think about crypto. They think about Bitcoin. So I think that's why when people hear crypto, they think Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the main forefront of this change right now. But don't forget about the other ones, because those ones are still very profitable as well. So
Ethereum is really good. Ethereum is really, really good. I definitely say tap into Ethereum as well. And Ripple. Ripple is really good as well.
Ripple, or as you can hear, XRP. These are coins that you see in the news. Like this is the beautiful thing about Google, and we're not trying to get into the history of crypto and where it started and what was the idea behind it, because all that's already there. But it's a digital currency, like we said, that gets verified by something called the blockchain. And you guys may have heard of blockchain, and maybe you haven't. It's a bunch of, it's almost like I was looking at a short YouTube clip. But I'm not going to do it because we have the ability to play a clip, but I would rather you guys just do some research on your own, okay? But what made me think about and again, this is impeccable speaking, not the Afro, everybody, about following two Gen Zers who are in a group that has made several millionaires under 25, was the whole key of education. And so, again, if you were here for earlier in the story, Rachel, Ripple is XRP. It is a coin that mostly banks love because it is really not. It's a fast transaction verifier, and it is a little or no fee. But the SEC was trying to hold it down for a while. Actually, my brother-in-law, Sean Evans, told me about it in the beginning of the year. And guys, I had some Ethereum, I had some Bitcoin, I had some Stellar coin. If you know about these coins, if you don't, you're hearing names, but now you're going to go look up these coins. And it was sitting since 2017, which my son, Kyle, told me I should get. He said, Dad, you need to get this. And he took my phone and he set me up a Coinbase and an exchange. And I just put some money in because I said, okay. You know what I mean? It was like, well, let's see what happens, right? 2 years went by, nothing changed. It wasn't moving. I said, oh boy. My brother-in-law called me. He said, man, you need to get on this XRP. I'm like, what is XRP? Same thing you asked, Rachel. And so I just said, all right, I got some coins already in Bitcoin that hadn't moved. I think it might have been at like $12,000 when I got it. So I took all my coins out of all of the other, and I dumped them all in the XRP, y'all. And the next week, Bitcoin went from 12,000 to 34,000 to 48,000 to 50,000. I was like, okay, God, what's going on? And then Ethereum, which I had a whole coin that I had gotten for $300, tripled, and now it's at $2,700. I was like, man, okay, come on through XRP, y'all. Come on through XRP. So I had this, I put it all in the XRP. It was something like at 27 cents. They just got a big announcement over this past week. It went from 27 cents to $1.70. So if anybody knows anything about when you get into these coins when they're small, and that's what Morgan and Phillip was saying earlier, that we usually get in after, like after the news is already broken. We getting into Bitcoin when it's 60,000, when some people got in when it was 2 cents, 10 cents, $100, $200, but that's because of the education. So we want you to be exposed today so that you can begin to educate. So to make the long story short, I'm at this meeting and Morgan's there, Phillip Tucker Jr., or PJ as I like to call him, is there, and for the first time, and these young people begin to speak about education, about the 50,000 or so that they've invested or their families invested for them to go to Morehouse College, and then what their average job is when they come out of college and what they were making. And then they went through a small scenario of a budget of what their living expenses are going to be, with their car, with their insurance, with their food. And when it added up, it didn't add up. You know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute, 200,000 over here. And I am not knocking higher education. I'm just saying that a lot of these other things, these intangibles that have a chance to make you wealth, are not being taught in our major colleges and universities yet. And so as black institutions, we need to switch that and really take the lead and change that. But it was one gentleman who got up to speak. His name is Julian, who said after all the 200,000 at Morehouse, he began to get the education, which was not even a small percentage of that 200,000. And so straight out of college, he didn't go for the job like Morgan has with the Boeing. He decided to become a full-time investor. And what he had learned and what he had been able to educate himself by the time he graduated, he is making more on the education that he learned from investing than he had in all the offers that he had from college. And so what these young people set out on a journey to do was to unlock the minds and to put another, let me say it again, trade idea, an idea that you can trade in for the idea that you had before, about a different way to invest and make money. Not for the sake of you just grow up and want to be an investor. You just want to be able to have access to capital to live your dream, right? Phil is a writer. Morgan she already said she's a serial entrepreneur. Dr. Draper is a pastor, publisher. If I go through her list, we're gonna all be tired, but I will exhaust it. But sometimes, guys, it takes capital to really fund your dream. And sometimes you think it's the only way it's going to come is from a bank loan or SBA loan, but a matter of fact, it may be coming from another place. Dr. Draper, jump in.
So I was wondering, Kevin, Craig Talley had a great idea, said, read about it, right? And learn more about it. So maybe it might be helpful for our viewers, Morgan or Phillip, to talk about how you spend it. How do you exchange? How do you trade it and get the goods and services that you want?
PJ, you want me to take it?
Say it again.
I'll speak after you.
Okay. So as far as the education portion, as PJ was referring to earlier, Trade House is actually in partnership with I Am Academy, which is an educational platform, essentially, that honestly, you can think of it like a subscription service, and you can choose to pay for it monthly as you want access to it. That's the simplest way to put it. So you have access to investors and people who are giving you those trade ideas, and you actually get to trade live with them. You actually get to have access to readings and different educational videos that you have full access to as soon as you join within I Am Academy. And so there's a lot of different paths that you can take. Like PJ was saying, he does HFX, which is high frequency exchange, or you can just stick with FRX, which is just the foreign exchange market. They have digital cryptocurrencies. There's a whole lot of routes that you can take now.
But the question is, how do you actually spend it for the goods and services that you want? So for example,
for what I
right, if you want to buy a house, or you want to buy a car,
right.
how do you
So
do that with your cryptocurrency?
well, you know, I personally am saving right now,
Okay.
but the educational platform is completely separate from where I invest. I have a different brokerage account. And so with that, I'm able to invest and kind of compound my money. And I have my own like trading plan of when I withdraw money. And I know like certain bills, because I don't have much to pay for right now, but like my Wi-Fi bill or like things like that, like I know that I am going to make that amount in that week and be able to pull that out and still be able to compound my account. So that's how I'm personally using it right now.
So were you answering the question, for instance, if you're on these trading platforms and they're dealing with a digital currency, Bitcoin being the most popular currency can be traded for cash. So you can trade, you can take the Bitcoin and you can, some companies and are now beginning to, like, you can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. You can do a few other things with your Bitcoin without exchanging it to the US dollar, but you take that digital currency and you exchange it for the US dollar.
Right. So that's what I was getting at, to say to people, you can use this to make purchases just like you would do anything else for those who accept the Bitcoin.
Right.
Amazon, I think, is accepting Bitcoin now.
Right.
So here's a clue, people. When these billion-dollar companies and these billionaires are already giving you the clue that they're accepting now something that over a couple years ago they thought wasn't going to make it, it's time to get on board. And it's time to at least get educated so that we are not left behind, because the new frontier can be equal, can be, flattened out, because it's not like regular real estate, y'all. It's not a limited amount of land. It's an unlimited amount of digital real estate out there. And so as the changes come in technology, if we are educated early enough, we will be able to profit in areas that we've never really been able to profit before, because of some of the redlining and the sidelining, all the other things that they tried to discourage us from understanding ways to earn money. Phil, jump in.
Definitely. I just it's sort of just a mindset thing, I must say. So I wanted to second what Mr. Peck said. He talked a little bit about education, and I truly believe education was always pushed in my family. So my mom is an educator; she's a headmaster of a school, has her doctorate. My sisters all went on; two are getting their doctorates right now. One's in law school. I'm the only boy in my family. So education is very important. But for me, it was all about mindset. What am I educating myself on? Am I educating myself on, okay, let me go to Morehouse, English major. Now I become a good writer. So now I'm writing for Lifestyle Magazine. But is this going to set myself up for generational wealth? And I had to think, I said, okay, well, these people that I personally know are multimillionaires before the age of 25. So let me put myself around them and just see what they're doing. Just hear it out, because like Morgan said, I thought it was a scam. I did not think highly of hearing about Forex, and I really didn't think about investing until last year. Until my like Mr. Peck said, though, you can get a certain amount of money right out of college, and now you're really just living check to check. And so I was like, okay, let me position myself just to listen and simply invest in an opportunity that might lead to where the people I know who have become wealthy has gone. So honestly, I just wanted to say, you have to get educated on, not just like education in school is absolutely a must. That I would never knock it, but I just needed to educate myself on how to get wealthy. And simply from this opportunity, just hearing from different people and different ways to invest, now I have positioned myself to do the same exact thing and try to become a part of that 1%. Yeah, so I mean, I think the the main word is just education, taking a step out on faith, learning how to trade Bitcoin, learning how to buy any cryptocurrency. It doesn't just have to be within the foreign exchange market or HFX. It needs to, like, you should truly sit down and just educate yourself on ways to invest and how to learn how to make your money work for you, and so you're not really always going to be working for your money.
Now that was probably, I don't know if y'all were paying attention, black people versus suddenly didn't know what they were doing and they were just investing. They were putting their money and their resources in a vehicle that they expected. See, the word of the day, y'all, is expectation. What kind of expectation do you have about your money and the growth of your wealth for your family? Are you investing your resources somewhere? And sometimes are you investing not only your resources, but your time and your information and yourself and who you begin to impact around you and the people around you that you're able to sometimes share just one thing that could possibly, one trade idea. Now I'm not talking about trading on the market. I'm talking about we trading these ideas, y'all. We're trading this idea of a poverty mentality. And you run into people and say, man, I'm broke this month. They begin to speak those things right into their own life. They begin to speak poverty. They don't ever see and have vision to go beyond their current circumstance. And so to get beyond your current circumstances, you have to begin to have a vision. You have to begin to dream. You have to begin to seek. Okay, this is the chicken box. We haven't got a lot on the box yet. I feel like I'm on the box. I feel like I'm standing on the box right now.
You're on the box.
I'm on the box. Okay, so I'm on the box, y'all. Listen, we have to unlock poverty thinking. All right, we have to change our mindset about how we think about money, that where the access comes from, and how we earn it. We need to put our money to work. And Morgan talked about compounding, and that was one of the biggest things that kind of attracted me to following these guys. I get inspired when Gen Zers, young people, are talking about mindset, are talking about development. These are people around. It's so many things that you could be thinking about in college or right out of college, and so many conversations that happen in these circles. Even if I can go to my generation, and some of these conversations are foolishness. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you're in those foolish conversations, you're like, I'm not in that conversation anymore. I'm over here with this conversation. What's up, Carl? Another family member. Thanks for tuning in, jumping in. We talking our language here. We talking crypto, and we talking a lot of people's language who are still listening. Craig's hanging out, Rachel, Sharon, Judge Trammell, who's 94 years old. This is my father-in-law. He is always asking me questions about something. He asked me about Coinbase this morning. He is my news. He said, you don't listen to the news. I didn't want to say, I just say I get it from you, Pop, because he is my, he's my built-in news channel. But he's on it at 94, hearing about what's going on, and he usually hears about the trend before it happens. And so thanks, Pop, for always just keeping me up on things, or at least letting me know that we're on the right train of thinking with the news that you bring. But he's thinking about investing. He has his money. I mean, he had Dana, my wife, open him an account, a Schwab account. He's trading. This is 94, y'all. And then I'm going to go even from 94, that Morgan's cousin, who's 14, heard about what Morgan was doing. And he took his own money to get education about investing in the 9th grade. When everybody else are probably playing PlayStation and doing whatever else they're doing out there, he's getting educated. He saw something in Morgan and what Morgan was doing, and that's what's happening. It's catching on like wildfire, guys, of how you can educate and change them. Jump in. I'm off the box. PJ.
All right, so no. You really just, and it's funny because my like personal investment group, and he literally just touched on like the 4 words. My investment group is called VIBE, and it's an acronym, and he talked about vision, because with anything you do, and the great thing about what we're doing is that no, not everybody wants to. His end goal is to just be an investor, but everybody has an end goal, and everybody has a dream and an aspiration, and just getting educated on cryptos, getting educated on learning how to make more capital, simply from your cell phone, to lead as a vehicle to lead you to where you want to go. And so he talked about the vision. That's the V for vibe. I is for inspiration. Why? Because it doesn't matter. Like, a lot of people aren't money hungry, but as long as you're making an impact in this world and on somebody else, like, the money is gonna come. And it's about like that. So the I stands for inspiration. Like, every day I'm inspired by somebody that may be 20 plus years younger than me, like Mr. Peck said, or may be inspired by somebody that is new to the opportunity. And the B stands for belief, because whatever you do out in life, and Mr. Peck always says, and a lot of my mentors, multimillionaire mentors say, all businesses have one thing in common, and it's problem solving, but they all had a sense of belief to start whatever they did too. And that belief is very important. Whatever you set out to do or you want to do, you have to believe that it's going to get done. And then the E, he touched on it. He touched on expectations. So I don't really need to talk too much about that. But I mean, literally just hearing him was like, wow, he just basically broke.
I didn't even realize I was doing it. That's how, that's how God works it out, PJ.
So no, but like it's truly, for me, it was 22 years old. For Morgan, it was 20. For Morgan's cousin Cam, it's 14 years old. You're never too young to start investing. You're never too old. So what I can definitely say is, you just have to take that step, take that leap of faith, and realize like there's other ways that I can be making money, and multiple streams of income is better than one. So definitely.
Well, thank you, PJ. You off the box. This is the Afro American newspaper channel, the Chicken Box, y'all. It's where we speak our truth. This is Black Wealth Month. We're still here. If you're getting a legacy edition, go to afro.com. Listen, our Black institutions and businesses don't run on air. So when we say we need you to be a member, for $40 a year, less than 2 Uber each, you can be a digital member. I'm just telling you how to get the game and how to keep us giving information that's never blocked by anybody, and it's never anybody else's agenda but the agenda that works best for Black people. Go to afro.com and you can get the digital edition. If you want the legacy edition, if you want to hold the paper as well, it's $100. $100 is not a lot. If I broke it down in days, I could say 10 Starbucks or something like that. Whatever it is, you can handle $100. I don't care who you are. You can handle a $100 subscription if you want the legacy edition. And sometimes it is some awesome front pages that just have to be framed. But if you're digital only, it's $40. We need your support. We need bloggers, videographers, great writers. We need people to help keep this 128-year-old institution. And we're not doing it on the newsstands like we used to. We have members right now, a membership. Go right on to afro.com, the blue button at the top, become a member. Thank you very much for those who've done it already, and thank you for those that are doing it as they hear the sound of my voice. So we're wrapping up the Chicken Box, Black People versus Crypto, and I'm going to put a number that if you want to know more about the education, text this number, 410-554, and I'll get you in touch with Morgan and PJ, and they can tell you about all the education things that they're doing. I'll pass your number along. You can text your number 410-554-8204. I'll put that up again. But this is the Chicken Box. We got 2 more people to get on the box. Actually, this is grandmother and granddaughter, 2 deltas, 2 generations who are. These are some achieving ladies. I look back in awe at both of these ladies all the time and all the moves that they've made in life as human beings, and as business, and I am proud. And sometimes you have to tell people that you're proud of them while you're alive, not always at the funeral. I really love the way. Listen, I love you guys now, today, this particular second. And who's going first? Morgan on the box or Dr. Drake?
Let Morgan go. She can go first.
All right.
Okay. Well, I love you too. All of you. This information, like she was saying, you have to take it with your own pace. It's not going to be something that's going to come overnight. And I think a lot of people come into it thinking that they're going to know how to invest. They're going to understand everything right away. Like, I don't understand everything, and that's okay. So, I mean, just having, like PJ was saying, that mindset and that expectation, that belief that you're going to get to where you want to go and that it's going to take time. You have to put that education first so that you can understand and go into it with a right mind and a smart decision. You have to go in with investing with an expectation, like that was said. So if you go in halfway thinking that you're probably not going to make any money, you're probably not going to make any money. And that's just the fact of it. That's the power of the tongue. That's how it works. And, with investing in general, it is a personal decision and it will take time. But if you believe that you can do it, anything is possible. And I think that, investing is just a way to create that freedom that you may be searching for, but you're not really sure how you want to get there. So that's what I've been able to see. And it's great to see Black people making money and investing in a way that they've never seen before. And, I think it's really nice that the generations are able to come together and do something powerful and to create wealth with the community that desperately needs it. So that's my piece.
Boom, you off the box, Morgan. Man, y'all, I don't know if y'all missed this, but Black people versus crypto and investing. Get educated from somewhere. You can spend your time searching yourself, or as Morgan and PJ, they have a academy that they deal with, and that helps shorten that curve. The information is there, and that's why people invest in themselves. I'm going to just say this: anybody who is doing anything of any significance has taken time. And if you go to their house, look at their personal library, look at the courses that they've taken, look at the seminars they've attended, and they have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes on information and education. And that has been what has helped elevate them throughout the years. I go to anybody's house or talk or check with anybody's library. We have to get the education. Dr. Draper, you have the final word on the chicken box today about this whole us against them. No, us against crypto and investing.
All right, that's great. Thank you for the compliment earlier. Listen, wages does not equal wealth, or wages do not equal wealth. Can I say that again? Wages are wages. There's what we receive in return for work, since we're on the W's, right? And so we want to create wealth. Kevin mentioned twice the Afro's We're Still Here series. When we talk about that, every month we are devoting one entire edition to a subject. In January, it was community activists. In February, it was Black First. In March, it was African American health. And now we're in April, it's African American wealth. If you already are a member, you're going to get that. If you want to become a member, you'll get maybe the digital one. We may be able to arrange that for you. But what you'll find in these 28 pages, stories of billionaires, but they're only like 7 African American billionaires. The story about Tulsa, we all have heard that, in Black Wall Street, stories about how to get wealth. And so we want to talk about this from a legacy standpoint, in that you owe it to yourself. For those who are Bible readers, we're to leave something for our children and our children's children. And usually we don't have enough for ourselves, much less for children and our children's children. And so it is an investment. It is not a guaranteed return. If you want a guaranteed return on something, good, let me know when you find a guaranteed return. I don't care what it is. It's not a guarantee. But it's also not a guarantee. It is a guarantee, though, if we hold on to it and put it under the mattress. The guarantee is it'll be worth less than it was when you put it under that mattress going forward. And so we need to invest where we're comfortable, make up our minds that we can't just spend everything, right? That's another mindset change. We talked about, Phillip talked about vision. That's another, you have to be able to see yourself out of debt. You have to be able to see yourself wealthy. You have to be able to see yourself not spending everything that you take in, right? You have to see yourself planning for the future, and you have to see yourself investing not just in yourself, but in the future generation. You have to see yourself being like Robert Smith, the wealthiest rather, I don't want to use the word rich, wealthiest Black man in the United States, being able to pay the tuition for Morehouse students. Phillip, that wasn't your class, right? That got that. Was that the class before yours?
Unfortunately, it was the class before me.
But that's okay, because he's turned around and invested in another whole education fund for others to HBCUs. But you have to see yourself being in that position. And so if you don't, Morgan said, if you don't see yourself wealthy, if you say, you know what, I can't be wealthy, I don't think I can do this, this is not for me, then I would challenge you to account for how you spent the last $50 that you had. Can you say, what did you spend it on? Anybody ever look at that and say, oh, I had $50 and I don't know what happened to it? Right? So just encourage all of us. Let's get the information, find your comfort level, like Morgan said. Work at the pace that's comfortable for you. But for whatever we do, let's not just hold on to it. Let's make it work for us. But we're already working for it, right? You're working for, and pay your taxes. That's all I want to say. When you get into these, and
right, when you make these 6 or 7 figures, 8, 9 figures, y'all pay your tax. Yeah, just get yourself another account. When you get this money and you withdraw it and change it from Bitcoin, you take 30%. Overdo it. Don't take 20. Take 30. Throw it in there. Take the other. Give a little tithe. Not a little tithe. Give a big tithe. That's big. That seed will multiply faster than Bitcoin. That's a whole nother show. We talking about, if you want to really get into wealth, we'll talk about that one day. But today, listen, don't get caught out there. Pay your taxes.
So I'm off the box, Kevin. It's after. I know we're not bound by time.
But yeah, no, we're gonna respect time. Everybody, thank you for hanging out. This has been Black People versus crypto and investing. I don't know. Did we lose Morgan? Okay, and we want to thank our Gen Z guest, Morgan Peck, and her family investor teammate, Phillip Tucker Jr., also known as PJ, for just taking their time and sharing and hopefully inspiring somebody else to look at something differently as they move forward in the day. And thank you again, Rachel, Craig, Tubecraft, Carl, Judge, Dana, Sharon, Anthony. Who else is hanging out? Whoever else, if I forgot your name, Inez, Jessica, anybody else out there who took the time to tune into the Chicken Box today. Sherry, Rufus, Byron Deese, of course, the mayor of Chicken Box. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we will see you next week. And keep Misha Green, our co-host, family in prayer as her mother undergoes surgery, or she may be recovering from surgery right now. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you soon. God bless.